Hey, Conscious Codependence community. I'm Cheryl Fidelman, the Conscious Codependence coach. And this is our Fridays with Fidelman on a Saturday because I recorded it yesterday and mistakenly deleted it. So I'm going to do it again. Thankfully, I remember what I said. So today's topic is codependence and purpose, and how our purpose in a particular moment and also our purpose overall in our life can be usurped or morphed into or stolen by our codependence. This is also the topic of our free and monthly Conscious Codependence class this week. And so, all right, here we go, codependence and purpose. So you may have experienced something like this where you're moving along, you attempt to connect with somebody, you attempt to vulnerably share something. And so your initial purpose is to share or connect or be seen or see somebody or understand somebody or be understood. And then something happens where the person doesn't quite respond the way you want them to respond. And we go into protect or defend or proving one of the three tenets of conscious codependence. We go into the want to be wanted, the need to be needed, or the need to prove ourselves. And all of a sudden, our purpose has now become our codependence. And then we go, what happened here? Well, I came into this conversation, fully feeling like an independent sovereign being. And now I'm in a codependent moment and I'm proving myself. For example, if our initial purpose is to connect, we reach out to somebody for connection. For some reason, that connection doesn't happen because we feel threatened or we feel not heard or they misinterpret what we said. I want to suggest that we actually can stay with our purpose. So we reach out for connection, doesn't go the way as planned. If our initial purpose is connection, we then can connect with ourselves. Connection didn't work over here, out there with another person in the 3D world. Okay, well, now let me connect to myself then. So we can stay with our initial purpose. Because what happens is we have an initial purpose of connection, doesn't go as planned, then we dissociate from ourselves and go into our codependence. And we enter with our true nature, and then somehow we wind up in our traumatic identity. And for those of you who are new to the Conscious Codependence community, the traumatic identity is one of the distinctions of my work. Your traumatic identity is the identity that was developed to survive or conform to your parents' or guardians' psychology and or reality. So we lean in with our true nature, and then all of a sudden our traumatic identity takes over. We lean in with a clear purpose, then all of a sudden we're in codependence. So if we lean in with connection, doesn't happen with the person, we can stay in our true nature. We can stay with our initial original purpose and connect with self. And connect with self might be, what am I interpreting here? What am I feeling here? What are my sensations? And this is the heart of the Conscious Codependence TSE practice. The TSE practice is thought, sensation, emotion. This is a somatic experiencing element of my work, where we move into this practice eventually on a daily basis so that we have access to the visceral experience within ourselves in any given moment. And oftentimes we may lose our initial purpose when we approach somebody because somebody, ourselves or the other person, takes something personally. So they say something, they get offended, they take something personally, and what you said had nothing to do with them, or we take their interpretation personally. And once somebody takes something personally, more often than not, that person who took it personally, it then goes into protect and defend. So either we go into protect and defend, or we notice or witness somebody else going into protect and defend. And oftentimes that gets mirrored. Somebody enters with a clear purpose, somebody takes something personally, and then the protect and defend gets sort of ping-ponged back and forth. And now the initial purpose is gone, and now both people are mirroring codependence. So these are examples of how an initial purpose can shift in a given moment of conversation. Also, like taking a more meta view, if you look at the purpose of our lives, for a lot of us codependents, sometimes we feel we have a greater purpose in our life. We have a greater vision for our life. But our codependent habits sort of suck the oxygen out of that vision. We go, so it's, limiting beliefs of self, right? Or I can't speak up. I don't have a voice to say my vision because the people around me won't agree with it, or they'll think that I'm crazy. We may want to prove a particular side of our identity, right? That we're good, or we're servers, or we're supporters, or we're helpers, or we're people pleasers, or we're maybe less edgy. We may have different sides of our personality, or different sort of elements or frequencies in life that we want to explore, but we don't know how to put that into words and share that with our partner. Or our partner, dampens it down, or doesn't agree with it, or doesn't want us to do it, or thinks we're crazy. And so for a lot of us codependents, if what we're saying isn't seen in another person's eyes and accepted, then we won't do it. And this oftentimes keeps us from expanding into our full purpose because our codependence says, you know what, just stay in this box because that's the box that other people see me in. Or we may have a larger purpose at our job, like we have contributions and ideas that we want to contribute, but we get repressed in contributing those things because we feel like we don't have a voice, or there's no room for us, or it's not appropriate, or people won't hear us. So codependence often simply takes the place of purpose. This also shows up for a lot of us in our health, our physical health, and our well-being. So we may want to be healthy. We might want to be super healthy. We have the purpose of being healthy, or losing weight, or waking up early, or just overall taking better care of ourselves. But the codependence often has us lean towards substance, right? Whatever substance that might be for you. And so that substance is leaning us away from our purpose. We have a greater purpose for our body, but because we're not managing our emotions in a healthy way, we lean towards the substance. Or you may have some sort of vision or purpose of being a healer or a coach, like you feel that in your spirit, in your heart, that you're some sort of healer. But, I often say, and this is true for myself, and everything I say, I include myself as well. I'm in the same human life, going through my own conscious codependence recovery as well. I always say that us healers cannot heal people beyond the place where we've been healed ourselves. And so for a lot of us who want to be healers, but we haven't gone through the cycle of healing that we want to bring other people through. So it took me going through this many, many, many huge cycles of healing. And of course, there's always more to do. But to get to the point where I can say, okay, great, I have come here. Please, now I can support others in coming here where I've gotten to, which is on the other side of my conscious codependence recovery, where my true nature and my true essence is now out. I'm out. My work is out. And because I am in my body, I'm back. All of the ways in which I was traumatized out of my body, and out of my worth, and out of my value, and out of my confidence, I feel strongly that I've returned back. Another way that codependence can usurp or take over our purpose is if you're in a relationship, marriage, partnership, some sort of romantic relationship, and you have a greater vision for how much love you want to give and receive. You have a greater purpose for how much love you feel you want to give and receive. But the partnership itself doesn't have space. It doesn't have the dynamic or mechanism. There isn't enough healing that has been done for you to take up the space with all of the love that you have. So oftentimes for a lot of us codependents, we go, you know what? I'm going to stay in this codependence because if I take any steps towards a bigger or different purpose, I'm going to lose the relationship. And I don't want to do that. I want to stay in this relationship. I don't want to reject or abandon, and I don't want to be rejected or be abandoned. And here's the thing, and I've said this often, that codependence is a future tripping act. Codependence is a future tripping and past tripping act, which is oftentimes we either remain repressed, we don't say or make the moves that we want to make because we think in our minds codependence is like a chess game. It's like, if I make this move or that move or that move, if I say this, they're definitely going to say this and they're going to do that. And we figure it all out. And then we choose repression in a given moment. But as we move through our conscious codependence recovery, we lean more into purpose than codependence. Codependence is future and past tripping. Purpose is present. Purpose is present. Purpose is the direct connection with the voice of your true nature in any given moment. And that true nature and that sovereignty cannot waver, right? I reach out for connection doesn't happen. Okay, great, I can have connection here with myself. I reach out for love, that love doesn't happen for some reason. Okay, great, I remain my purpose, that love can happen over here with me. Oftentimes, if the connection is not happening with another person, with a boss, oftentimes, I'm not saying every time, but oftentimes in our codependent moments, the source of the disconnect is over here with self. So if we remain with our purpose and connect over here with self, take a moment, we then can lean out again and try again. And if your purpose is to share, your purpose is to, you want to be heard, you want to be listened to, it's not happening out there with the other person. Okay, great. Remain with your initial purpose of being heard and hear yourself. Hear what it is that you have to say. Hear what it is your intuition is telling you. Because oftentimes our purpose is to be heard. We're not heard. Okay, then what happens? Then we kick into proving so that we can try to be heard. Now, all of a sudden, we're in codependence. We're in proving, as opposed to our purpose is to be heard. You're not hearing me. Okay, great. Let me hear myself right now. How am I interpreting this person not hearing me? What am I feeling from that? What's happening, right, within me? We're then moving through life with a consistent connection with self. It can't be thrown off. We step out, it doesn't happen. Okay, great, come back, connect with self. We step out, it doesn't happen. Okay, great, come back, connect with self. So ultimately, what I'm pointing to is the purpose of conscious codependence recovery is to develop consistent inner peace, consistent connection with self, so that we cannot be thrown off of purpose in any given moment, and also in the purpose and vision of your life in totality. Okay, thank you so much for listening to my thoughts, theories, and rants. We're going to go more into this in our free and monthly Conscious Codependence class, which is this week on Thursday. Just please note that it was the last Wednesday of every month. I had made an announcement and moved it to the third Wednesday of every month, and that was a mistake. So it is the third Thursday of every month from now on, starting this Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific. The link to register for free is not in my bio. This is not Instagram. It's in the description of this video, and it's in the email that you receive this video as well. Please keep a lookout for the 6th Conscious Codependence series, Soul versus Trauma. I'm going to be sending that out. That's a free online series that I'm hosting. Also, I have space this summer for 2 private clients. So if you are interested to take a deep dive with me and work individually with me privately in a 6-month private conscious codependence program customized to you and your nervous system and the unique lane of codependence that you may occupy, and lean more into inner peace, sovereignty, your ultimate purpose in any given moment, please email me and I will email you my scheduling link so that you can book your free Decode Your Codependent session with me. We'll do some deep work in that initial consultation and see if the private program is a match for you and your journey this summer. Happy healing, and life is now.